Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's Friday, and it's January 14th, and today we're doing security and nonsense. Nonsense is a big section today.
So big.
And exciting. But first, let's talk about some horrible security implications that you need to think about. If you are an iPhone user, this one can get you just when you go into a place. You just have to go into a physical location and you are kind of screwed. So turn this off.
An Apple HomeKit bug can send iOS devices into a death spiral. Signing into iCloud will re-trigger the crash even after a full restore.
How do you do it? You name your HomeKit item thing with something with 50,000 characters. A little bit of a buffer overflow. Turns out the buffer overflow is in the iCloud as well. I guess iCloud has enough room to store it, or at least enough characters that the phone can't store it.
It's so insane.
And you can never get it back. And then, like when you fix it, you have to disable the iCloud account so it can't go back and try to sync.
Yeah. Even all the Apple stuff around authentication is super buggy because it's like, oh, I need to update my password. And then it's like, well, what's the password to this computer that's also linked to your account? And it's like,
oh, it's so disgusting.
It's just, and it doesn't work most of the time. Your other devices will pop up and be like, do you want to allow this? And you can't actually answer allow or disallow on that device because if you answer allow, it starts another password reset process on that device, ignoring the first device.
You know what else does that? Microsoft Dynamics.
Oh, it's such a mess.
Collective shudder went through the table.
Well, we're all stuck at home, and if you're smart, you're not going to hospitals ever for any reason. It's a captured industry.
I saw this and I thought of Idiocracy.
But maybe you got something that's wrong with you, and it's time to get it checked out. Well, if you are an LG customer, you don't have to go to those pesky healthcare workers. Just turn on your TV.
LG TVs now have a built-in health platform. The article goes on to describe that it's basically a webcam. And doctors can use the built-in webcam to communicate with you, and there's a health app. But I've got news for you. This app is going to be completely dead on arrival. Apple's already got this whole market locked up.
Yeah, and
this is also stupid.
6 months after you buy this TV, that part won't update, and if you accidentally press that button, it'll crash.
Yeah.
Whereas if you subscribe to the Apple ecosystem and your healthcare provider has that, he can get your blood pressure and your heart rate and your blood sugar level and about 7 other variables.
Whether you subscribe or not.
Yeah.
It's just like, what's your Apple ID? Ah, yeah, so you're going to be dead in 6 months. Oh, I need to move on to some other patients.
So, yeah.
We'll send you a package of tissues in the mail so you can mourn yourself.
We'll send you an Apple Home Cancer Test Kit.
Oh.
In case you don't have an LG TV, you could accomplish this with any phone, any smartphone, any Zoom capable
now
PC.
the article correctly points out that an elderly person can't hold their phone far enough away for the doctor to give them an examination. They're going to have to set it up on a tripod or something.
Well, maybe you got to shuffle across the street, get your neighbor to hold it,
or to use a laptop, or literally anything.
Or just
put it on the
lean
table.
your phone up against something.
Yeah.
But no, run out and buy an LG TV, a brand new one. And this was the big NFT debacle this week. It is, I would say, cryptocurrency behaving the way cryptocurrency is supposed to behave. Whereas if you do it stupidly, you lose it.
They managed to get all kinds of takes that I think are incorrect.
And I would say that it's incorrect that they just said, oh, a high-profile person was impacted by this? Let's change the rules.
Yeah.
OpenSea freezes 2.2 million of stolen Bored Apes. Art gallery owner Todd Kramer had his valuable NFT collection stolen from his hot wallet yesterday, so OpenSea froze the stolen assets worth about 2.2 million. So it's not the chain itself is not frozen. It's just OpenSea won't trade them, which I think is okay. Because it's not that the chain itself is centralized, as some of the commenters say. It's that OpenSea won't trade these tokens because they've been flagged as stolen. And that's probably under the law they're required to do that, to not deal in stolen goods. That doesn't mean that they can't be traded on the chain somewhere else, just not through OpenSea.
The list of apes that were affected, I think it gives you more perspective on how ridiculous these apes are and how many of them there are. Maybe they're non-fungible, but they made tens of thousands of them. Look at this list. Oh, Mutants 25,057. That's my favorite.
I have a poster on my wall of that one.
You better not.
Yeah, they'll take it.
Doesn't belong to you. And we have the story about Morgan Stanley, which is, it's not new news, but now we know how it happened. And it really is, this was not a hack.
No.
This was not an exploit. This was just stupid people getting rid of technology.
Morgan Stanley has agreed to a settlement figure of $60 million to resolve a data breach lawsuit. Why? What did they do? They just forgot to format a hard drive.
Threw it away, and somebody said, ooh, that comes from a big bank. I wonder if there's anything useful on that. Spoiler alert, there was.
About $60 million of useful on it.
That poor guy who did that, who threw that away.
You think they've tracked it back to one guy?
He's dead now.
I think it's more likely that one of his underlings took the fall.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Probably like the guy who actually took the garbage bag out to the curb.
The janitor.
They might have learned that Windows format doesn't actually format a hard drive.
It's a good lesson to learn, but that's a tough way to learn it.
Whew.
And this was a hot story. I didn't pull any of the news articles because, they're really just telling you right here on their website.
The Twitter account of Norton just was roasted alive. It was great.
As well they should be.
Fact, Norton Crypto. Wait, Norton Crypto. What is Norton Crypto? Oh, it's a feature made available in Norton 360 which can utilize mining cryptocurrency for your PC when it's idle. Currently, it's limited to devices that meet the required system requirements.
Why couldn't I just do that on my own and keep more of it?
Yeah, because Norton skims kind of a lot off the top.
It's disgusting. But we've known for a long time that Norton is a company that should not be trusted.
Symantec is like one of those, is the Toys R Us or Sears of, some people bought it and they're basically just running up the debt and they're going to have somebody else handle the hot potato. It's basically dead company.
But that's happened a couple of times already.
Yeah.
Like we're a long way from the originals there. It just keeps getting worse. Well, cameras are everywhere and you cannot escape them. And not only can you not escape them, but it's getting easier and easier to identify you from just little happenstances. You just happen to get a couple of frames from a passing camera and boom, you're in prison.
Italian mafia fugitive arrested in Spain after Google Street View sighting. Convicted murderer, I'm sorry I can't pronounce that name, tracked down in Galapagar where he had lived undetected for 20 years.
Wow. That's like the one guy, the killer.
Golden State.
The Golden State Killer. He was found because someone did a DNA test and it pulled him up.
See, I think that there's a lot more to this story, but they're not letting on, and they just happen to also notice that he was in Google Street View, and they're like, oh, that's a great cover story. But it seems like there's a parallel construction here.
The detective who has been working on this case for 20 years tirelessly was like, you know what, I deserve some time off. So he started playing GeoGuessr, and he happened to get the Street View photo that broke the case.
This guy was cooking at a local restaurant and he had a fruit stand. And apparently the community loved him.
Oh.
And he was just a cold killer. And when they caught him, he said, I haven't even spoken to my family in 10 years. How did you do this?
and they did not give him a truthful answer.
They claim it was the Street View.
Yeah.
He does have he has a scar on his chin and he has tattoos. During his cooking videos, he was very, very, very careful, never showed his face. They got his tattoos.
Wow.
Don't get tattoos.
Pro criminal tip.
It's not a smart thing to do, especially if you're a criminal. Especially if you're in a criminal gang. Come on. And crypto, of course, at the best of times, a security risk. At the worst of times, straight up theft.
Yeah. Crypto platform ARBIX flagged as a rug pull transfers $10 million. This is funny because the headline should have been crypto platform ARBIX, which was previously audited as basically okay, has now been flagged as a rug pull.
Yeah, what was the name of Certicay? Certicay is this company, and they say, hey, you can trust us. We'll figure out what cryptos are scams and what aren't. And they said, oh, this one looks fine.
They're doing things by the book, up until the point they weren't.
Up until the book said, steal it all.
So,
and it was underlined.
Yeah, it was like $10 million in ETH, and they already sent some of it through a coin mixer, so they'll probably be caught. But it'll be one of those things where it's like we don't want to reveal too much of how much law enforcement knows about how all of this stuff actually works.
Yeah.
So.
I thought that the mixing services were no longer valid, but this claims that tornado.cash. Would you ever trust tornado.cash? They claim that they have a way to completely separate the incoming and the outgoing. I guess they use fresh coins at some point. I don't know how exactly they do it, but supposedly there is no way the other side can find out what went in and what came out.
Unless they get logs from this service, which may actually be run by law enforcement.
Yeah.
That's the level of paranoia you have to have. Crime doesn't pay.
Could very well be their entire building glows. Now this seems like a beautiful thing, and it's like, oh, maybe we can get back to normal, but I think a little bit past the obvious. Think about the TSA, and think about how this is going to be used, because this is going to be like a drug dog. This will signal whatever they want it to, and it means that you can't go wherever they don't want you to go.
Finally, an easy way to test for the thing. This is a device that continually monitors the air for lots of common things that are bad and alerts in 5 seconds if it's detected. Oh, it's reusable up to 300 times.
What do you think, like just at a grocery store? You know the little airlock in a grocery store?
It just constantly...
Yeah.
Beep, beep, beep,
What
beep.
amount of time is one of these things floating around in there? Got to be a high amount of time.
We need the robot, the UV robot in there where it can just be like, everybody clear the room. I need to sanitize the room.
You walk past it, it goes off, the UV robot comes over, gets you by the scruff and just like sprays
Scrubbing
you
you,
with UV.
yeah. I'm not wearing sunscreen.
Do not resist, citizen.
I'm pretty sure that happened to Fry in Futurama. When they first defreeze him, all the robots like, yeah, I don't know.
Well, here's a pro tip, and we have not. This is not the first time we've seen this. We've seen it before, and it seems like it's just too tantalizing, right? The unknown is such a draw. People can't help themselves. But if you get a USB drive in the mail and you're not sure who it came from, or you can't verify who it came
I
from,
saw one of these that was $500 of Olive Garden gift cards, and they were like, I really want to plug this in. I was like, no, you do not want to plug that in.
why would somebody send you
Exactly.
$500 of
Yeah.
Olive Garden gift cards?
Yeah.
It's just don't do it. Do not do it. Or get your old beater laptop out that's got Linux on it, and just satisfy your curiosity. But Jesus,
FBI hackers use BadUSB to target defense firms with ransomware. And I know what you're thinking. This was a mass storage device, and there was a virus on it. You're wrong. It was a HID device, a keyboard. You can't disable those at an administrative level. And, well, I mean, you could, but no one ever does.
it started installing, but I imagine because it was human interface device, it couldn't hide that, right?
Right.
So it was just like right there on your screen. You're like, no. You know how sometimes people touch the screen? It's like, no, stop.
It'd be really easy to
Pawn it.
interfere it, too, with just pounding the keyboard with your fist to insert extra characters.
Like you're just sitting there pressing the F button. It's like, unplug it. But apparently it got some people.
It did.
Yeah. I imagine some people plug it in. They're like, oh, it's doing stuff.
Yeah.
Better let it finish.
Oh, PowerShell. This is serious. I see the IT administrator use that from time to time.
That's a really long URL.
Is that where I get my gift cards?
And that was a little bit of nonsense. A nice transition story. But now this is the real nonsense. I don't know how we can effectively talk about this without tripping 500 different alarms.
You're just going to have to read the headline.
But let's just say that, this is not an original thought. Obviously, a lot of commentators have already made this, but the part that's bad is not the removing of the face. It's not the killing of the person and then taking their flesh. It's when you put it over your own face, but only if your face is different. That's the thing that's bad. Think about that.
Dead by Daylight devs remove Leatherface mask because people were doing the thing in quotes in the headline. And it actually, the one tiny piece of evidence that this is maybe people behaving badly is that one of the characters, who, you know, is darker skinned, their face gets used as a mask much more at a much higher rate than the other characters, because you have to kill a certain number of people in the video game in order to
You have to get that
unlock
character 25 times.
yeah.
So they're saying that because one of the characters has different color skin, the Leatherface players prefer that one, which they presume
is racist.
is because they are using it as sort of like a racial thing.
Are they? Is everybody that plays Dead by Daylight 12 years old? I don't know.
Just make Leatherface black. Why not? Here it is. This is the one. This is the article of the week, in my opinion. And it's because if you believe that the mainstream media is still trustworthy, I hope that this, if you've not seen the videos about this is a threat to our democracy, then this is the one that's going to do it. I guarantee you. There are all these like truth in journalism activist groups. If you dig down to the bottom of all of them, it's Facebook and Google. Every single one of them, I guarantee you, it's Facebook and Google. And if you think about it, why would Facebook and Google want to say this? Oh, I think it's pretty clear.
Here's why you probably don't need to rely on a VPN anymore. The widespread use of encryption has made public internet connections far less of a security expert threat, cybersecurity experts say. So this article, okay.
X-doubt.
Even if this article does not mention at all DNSSEC, secure DNS. Secure DNS, even if you're using a VPN, if you still happen to use your ISP's DNS server, remember how ISPs were actually, we did a story like a year ago, ISPs were actually blocking DNS traffic to DNS servers other than theirs. And the only reason you would do that is if you're spying and monetizing that data. And then we get stories later where it's like, oh yeah, they are actually monetizing that data, even though they said they weren't. No mention of that anywhere in this story.
And if this story, again, I really recommend you read this story because this is a masterclass in all of the bad faith argument techniques.
Yes.
For example, let's not argue the point. Let's choose another villain, which is true, and let's argue that point, even though it has nothing to do with when it's valid.
Most commercial VPNs are snake oil from a security standpoint.
True.
Said Nicholas Weaver, cybersecurity lecturer at the University of California, Berkeley. They don't improve your security at all.
Also true.
They just shift who can spy on you.
But if you use a good one, that doesn't count. And they also talk about HTTPS, and they act like HTTPS is this magic bullet that solves everything.
But it doesn't cover literally any other protocol, including DNS. DNS reveals almost as much as HTTPS about what you're doing and what's happening.
Other comments, the recommended looked like a button for a second, and I was like, are they?
NBC knows better than that.
Almost no news sites allow comments anymore.
Yeah. And they talk about how phishing is much more of a big thing. Yeah, for people who are literally trying to steal from you, yeah, it's more about phishing. A VPN doesn't protect you as much from that as from the people who are spying on you at every level of the situation.
That's like saying a chainmail is not going to protect you against gunshot wounds the way that it protects you against stab wounds.
Also, there was no talk of deep packet inspection or traffic shaping. Or
Traffic shaping is a lot easier when you've got the ports.
How about being blocked from the Pirate Bay and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, that an IP-based block doesn't work through a VPN.
Or any of those countries that are doing it. Turkey, when they block stuff, they just do a lazy DNS. They don't do anything else.
It is kind of a masterclass in disingenuous arguing, isn't it? Because it doesn't address any of those things.
Doesn't address any of the real issues.
No.
But it's all factual.
And DNSSEC, as the lowest hanging fruit, secure DNS, like no mention of that, huge red flag.
Well, this one is a little bit of I guess more opinion than anything else, but it does go to show you that the world is changing a bit at the highest levels as things are becoming more and more acceptable.
Billionaires are embracing crypto in case money, quote unquote, goes to hell.
I don't know that you could. I mean, the SHTF version of crypto, I don't know how you ever get back to it, right? Or trade it.
Yeah.
You'd have to have like individual USB drives that's labeled like, all right, here's a $10 one. Here's a $7.
And then, it could still, multiple people could be in possession of that until one of them actually moves it into somewhere else.
Yeah, when the electricity comes back on, you got to be fast.
Move. I don't think, if it was really bad, I don't think the electric would come back on because our grid sucks.
Then what are you going to do with your crypto?
Who knows?
throw it away.
They never think about that, do they?
They don't think about that. And another thing that they didn't think about was how history would look at them when they were burning women. But so many years later, I guess we're finally going to say sorry for that.
Women executed 300 years ago as witches in Scotland are set to receive pardons. Oh, it only took 300 years.
I'm sure they'll feel so much better.
Yeah. I feel like if I was just like, keep your pardon. I don't want it.
I want. You remember the guy in Missouri, the reporter that reported the Social Security numbers being printed and the governor's, trying to accuse him of a crime. I wonder if he'll get a pardon in 300 years, assuming that he actually, gets accused of a crime, or that actually goes through.
I bet as their lungs were burning and the flesh was cracking off of their toes, they were sitting there thinking, I better get an apology in 300 years.
Because I didn't do any witchcraft. What if they did? What if they were witches? What if they did curse the king's ships?
I'll do it again.
I think now that's a free speech issue. It's like I have a constitutional right.
Right, to
yeah.
curse the
You
king's
can
ships.
definitely
Yeah.
curse. Except you can't say a certain phrase about Brandon.
I guess it's the queen's ships now. How the tables have turned. Burned for being a woman. Now there's a woman on the throne.
Oh, yeah, but she's just there because somebody died.
I mean, that's true of all of them.
Taco Bell, this was a hot story. And
We discussed it on stream a little bit, so this might be a little bit of a rehash.
yeah, when you break it down, I just don't see the value.
No.
It doesn't seem to be a good value.
Taco Bell launches taco subscription service for $10 per month. You can get one taco a day, the very cheapest one. This seems like just a way to upsell you on buying other things.
Yeah.
A lot of people quickly went to, okay, can I get 4 subscriptions? Because if I could get 4 a day for $40 a month, then yeah, maybe I'll do that. No, can't do that. It's through the app. I don't think they'll let you double up.
That's why you have to have burner phones.
Or
Just for Taco Bell subscriptions.
well, like 5 friends that you take with you just so you can get your tacos.
Do I have cancer because I ate 4 Taco Bell tacos a day, or because I carried 4 burner
$40
phones
a
with me?
month. I feel like that would just buy you all the tacos. Like you wouldn't need to use them.
Nah, because the tacos is probably what, $1.50? Something like that.
Yeah, it'd
I
be.
just don't get the value.
So it would be $45 a month to get 1 taco a day, right? Something like that. Plus tax.
It's a pretty good savings. Nobody's going to go to Taco Bell every day.
Not from 1 taco. What they hope is that you'll go.
Your colon literally won't let you.
We're like, hey, what happened? You didn't get your free taco yesterday. It's like, I was at the ER, but I'm back today.
They told me not to eat this again, but I'm here.
I figured out a new way to pay for my subscriptions. I'm going to be selling my farts in jars.
Oh, that would be terrible for her. Because what if she couldn't get her farts out? Or what if she couldn't trust her farts?
Oh. She gives a little something extra in one of them jars.
You think people would dislike that, or would they be into that?
Oh.
In this world, I don't know anymore.
Well, Wendell, you've had some recent experience with dropping stuff off at the thrift store.
Yeah, so much stuff.
Do you think there was anything alive in there?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Definitely some insects, right?
Yeah.
But hopefully not something like this. Krista, what would you do if you went home today and Little Cricket was just completely missing?
Oh, I'd be very upset if this happened to me.
These people were freaking out, but the story has a happy ending.
Cat reunited with family after being mistakenly donated to thrift store.
I can hear that cat's meow just from this photo. Meow!
They got rid of a recliner, and the cat was hiding in the recliner, and they didn't realize.
Sometimes Toast spends hours under the couch. I don't know what he's doing under
Really?
there.
Isn't that usually like when we first got Cricket, the first day he didn't come out from under the couch because he was freaked out because he was in a new space. But yours does that all the time?
No, it's not. I don't think he's afraid of anything because he'll go from my lap. Like after he's saturated with his pets, he's had enough, then he'll just calmly go under the couch.
Is that because he doesn't want to be bothered by his brother?
Yeah, maybe.
He's usually the botherer.
Don't bother me in my happy place.
Maybe it's just because it's dark under there. I don't know. Well, privacy is gone. If you are going to ride around with human body parts in your truck, you just don't have privacy.
You just can't do it.
And that's the world we live in. You got to be aware of that in 2022.
Lawyer claims Las Vegas man happened to steal a truck with a severed head and other body parts inside. That's his murder one defense. So this guy was stopped for a traffic citation. It was expired tags. and the police noticed there were body parts in the back.
Listen, sir, those aren't my body parts.
Here's the toughest thing about his defense that he's going to have to get over.
A detective testified that multiple firearms and knives were recovered from the scene, along with tape and plastic bags. Prosecutors argued that Hall was a danger to society and asked for his bail not to be granted, which it was not.
I'm sure he was just going for a day of shooting, and he wanted to
And
collect
some
all the shell
community
casings.
service, yeah, some trash pickup around the
Put 'em
range.
in that plastic, and then I guess the duct tape to secure it.
And then he went to throw that trash bag in the back and was like, oh, it's full of body parts. I'm going to drive to the police station right now.
Alternative headline, Dexter decided it was time to retire.
Aren't they bringing that show back again?
Yes.
Did he do one last one? Was that like the final hurrah? Well, here in good old Kentucky, our Interstate 65 completely broke down during the snowstorm.
Oh, multiple interstates. It wasn't just one.
And had a lot of people stranded, but they were not stranded quite as long as the poor people, was this in Virginia, I think?
Yeah, it was just outside of D.C.
On I-95. And if you were stuck there, you probably had a really bad experience, but one man in particular had insult to injury.
I-95 shut down. Uber rider trapped in traffic slammed with a $600 bill. So he was stuck for 9 hours, but his fare was $200, which he paid. And he's like, I'm cool with that. It's fine. Paid the driver. Also tipped the driver. Apparently it was good company. But then Uber billed him another $400 on top of that. And that's what he was complaining about. Of course, when Fox News got a hold of Uber said, you know what, we're just going to make all that go away.
Yeah.
But it does point out something that I did not know about Uber. I knew they could do the surge pricing, but I didn't know the price could change while you were in the car.
Yeah, that's kind of crappy.
Yeah, that's terrible. So he was saying, hey, even if it's raining hard, I'm never getting in another Uber.
Yeah.
Because you don't know. And he got away with this because there was a big outcry and there was a news story. Yeah. If it had not been, they'd take their $600. You know they would.
Absolutely. And he was fine with the $200. He's like, okay, I've come to grips with this. And it's like, let's triple it.
Can I take an 8-hour Uber for $200?
I mean,
that seems impossible. Is it because there was no mileage?
Probably.
Just sitting in traffic, yeah. That sucks for the Uber driver, too, I bet. Just sitting there.
Well, it sucks for everybody who was on that road, right?
Yeah.
I think what the other thing Uber is afraid of is the Uber driver is going to look at it and be like, wait a minute, you only paid me $50 for that ride, and you guys were going to keep $550 of the money for that? What?
Oh, yeah, I bet the driver didn't see a penny of that, right?
Probably.
Also, I think someone passed away in the I-95. Like
Yeah, I can see that.
He left his car, and I guess was out in the woods, and he was found not very far from his car, but he had passed.
Oh.
Out in the snow.
Did the car have fuel?
I don't know. The story didn't say. The one that I read.
We think it was just too socially awkward to go to another car and be like, listen, I'm dying.
I wonder if he went to go pee or something, and then it was whiteout conditions, and he couldn't see. I don't know. Sad.
That's a good advertisement for the Gatorade company. Well, Cheech and Chong, who are weed comedy, I guess, one of the first weed comedy people out there, and they've had really strong careers since then. But they are not done. They are incredibly old, I think in their 80s. But that does not mean that they cannot have NFTs. Do you think there's any chance either one of them understand anything about this?
Absolutely not.
I would love a live stream of Tommy Chong, explaining cryptocurrency and NFTs to me.
We would be up to do that at any point.
That would be fantastic.
We'll make that happen. Cheech and Chong, legendary comedy duo, will launch a large-scale collectible brand titled My Homies. The first series will be a non-fungible token art collection titled Homies in Dreamland.
In other words, I don't think Cheech and or Chong have anything to do with this.
No.
It is an artist team called Easy Partners. If you want to check them out, that's all the people who are actually going to be doing this.
They just put their name on it. That's something.
What do they call it? Something or other? Homies in Dreamland. Do you guys? There's a fascinating story about the little homies that came in those coin machines.
Oh yeah,
that was a massive, massive business for a lot of years. Homies were overwhelmingly popular.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. And then one day it just went away.
Did they appreciate more than Beanie Babies?
During that time, absolutely. I don't know if it was much appreciation as it was just the volume of sales. Like they'd fill those little machines up with them and they'd be gone the next day. And so here we are starting up in 2022. And I think that we can safely say that the 2-year plan is dead.
Right.
Because Krista is enjoying her lifestyle. She got a cat.
I got a beautiful little boy. We call him our Christmas cat because we got him at Christmas time.
And you might
kitty.
not have known this, Krista, but you getting a cat at this time in your life, particularly a cat, means that you are completely godless.
Oh, right. Pope says having pets instead of babies is selfish. I don't think that's supported anywhere in Scripture, but all right.
So you should be having babies because you want to transfer your love to your babies, not your fur babies. Also, oh, right, it's a different story. I thought it was the same story, but it's not. It's the next story, which is amazingly similar.
Atheists prefer cats and Christians love dogs, study shows. What if you love both? What does that mean?
You're going to burn in hell.
Well, yeah, what if you own both? Love and own both? I think we did a Twitter poll a long time ago where it was like cats or dogs, and a lot of people were upset that I didn't include an option for both.
Isn't it overwhelmingly dog though?
It was actually pretty close. I think dogs won out by a small margin.
But I mean the national.
Oh, I don't know.
I think dogs are way ahead.
I don't know. We have a L1 Pets thread on the forum that people post to as well, which is excellent.
A lot of people have cats in the sense that there's an outdoor cat that they feed occasionally, but otherwise don't really keep up with.
How do you think they feel about Jesus?
They seem to be fans based on my own personal experience.
You know
Fan
what?
club.
I know this is controversial, but I don't think the Pope actually knows the answer to that question. Is Shkreli, he's still in prison, right?
I don't know.
He's got to be getting out soon,
I don't know if he's in prison or on home arrest.
Oh, right. Oh, because of the thing. I bet that's true, yeah. But we know he doesn't have this because not only is it seized by the government, but they have decided to reprice it. How much did they reprice it for? Well,
that's a trade secret. The government released these never-before-seen photos of Wu-Tang Clan's legendary Once Upon a Time in Shaolin album.
But no price because that's a secret.
I can't imagine that that's a secret. Come on.
But it's literally a secret.
There's some art on the floor in the background there.
What do you think that's worth? Also a secret. There it is.
Oh.
Beautiful. I would pay...
You're a Wu-Tang fan, right?
I'm not really a Wu-Tang fan. I would pay
don't really know
probably
their songs.
$19.95 for that.
After hearing a great sales pitch from a guy on the TV, right?
But I'm not paying state sales tax.
We got the seller has to pay the
they
state
have to
sales
cover
tax.
that. Right. This was a lot of fun on Twitter because it is, it's ridiculous. I guess it's good, right?
I don't mind it.
It can't be bad, but people were comparing how much you could realistically do on this machine versus what you were shoveling into your mouth.
I'm honestly surprised the insurers are okay with this.
Well, it's China.
I'm still surprised.
It's time for McDonald's to be fun again. I'm for this.
You think they could do it in 2022?
McDonald's China launches exercise bikes for people to work off a fast food binge. So what I'm imagining is somebody's got the big chocolate shake and they're taking a
drink
swig,
and they're like,
and then they stumble or something on the exercise bike and get a lung full of ice cream. That's a very hard to recover from situation.
So you're speaking from experience there? Now, these are not just for your own health. They also feed a charging port so you can charge your phone while you eat.
That was what clued me into the fact that this is a publicity stunt, and that Walmart, and that McDonald's is not actually serious about this.
Remember when they used to have play places everywhere? And they had those, they were shaped like hamburgers, but they were stools, and they kind of, wobbled around. Those were so fun.
The article mentions that those were recycled in order to make the plastic for these.
Oh, that's sad. Because I liked the play place.
I bet swimming around in a ball pit burns a lot of calories versus that.
Yeah.
It's a full body workout.
Although if you're an adult, it's frowned upon for you to play in the ball pit.
I had to fetch many kids out of the play place as I got older, and I had younger cousins coming up through it.
Whenever you're trying to evade the McDonald's employees through the tube system, also huge calorie burn.
And also dodging like the poops
Look,
and the tissues with boogers in them. And
the employees come out after you. It's like, sir, you're only allowed to take one honey mustard packet from the stand. You only got one order of nuggets. Come back.
the employee's got a taser.
You grab the whole bucket of honey mustards and just turn them over and run. Anarchy. I saw the headline and I was like, that's going to be stupid. There's no way that's
you
going
watch the video and it's like, wow.
Yeah, it's not going to be what we think it is, and it is exactly what we think. This is great. This is a hilarious thing because it seems like the fish are actually in control.
Yeah.
And I did not think that would be possible.
Scientists in Israel train a goldfish to drive on land, and you should check out the video because it's a goldfish that's literally...
Watch out, LiDAR.
There's a bunch of people in our audience right now that are putting a glass goldfish bowl on tank treads so that their goldfish can drive around.
The top view is not as good. But wherever he goes...
Look at him go.
They took him outside in one of them. I don't know where
Did
I saw
he?
it. Oh, here it is.
Yeah, they were trained. They trained him to avoid obstacles and to seek treats and stuff like that.
Oh, so wait, that's terrible because I thought everyone always thought goldfish were stupid, but this kind of maybe points out they're maybe a little bit intelligent.
Yeah, they were. They did seem to prove that they were moving towards something they wanted.
Yeah.
Huh.
They should have brought some cats in there and see if it worked in the other direction. Here's a disappointing follow-up. I'm real sad about this, but we had to know that this was the most likely outcome.
Yeah.
Curious cube-shaped hut on the moon. That's just another rock. You can see the original picture, and the rover was going to take a month to get there, dodging treacherous holes in the ground and debris and craters and all sorts of stuff. Well, it made it and took a picture of the rock, and it's nothing remarkable.
And it's not even cube-shaped.
It's not even a cool rock. As far as moon rocks go, it's the worst one.
Well, if there's a moon alien on the other side of that rock, like pushed against it, like,
Scared.
oh, God. Please
almost
don't come
found
any
me.
closer. Oh my God.
This has been trending all over Twitter all week.
So, did we talk about her going to the emergency room?
We
Yes.
Okay. So there
We've done several follow-ups on this
It's
person.
been a trinity of stories. The first, and she is brilliant. First of all, this girl is a brilliant marketer. Don't think that this girl is stupid. She's not. She's a little bit evil. She's definitely taking advantage of the simps, but she's brilliant because she opened up. She did the news press release where it's like, "Hey, I fart in jars," and people were like, "Ah, ha, 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 that's such a good story." Meanwhile, she sold thousands of fart jars.
Yeah.
How many did she say she sold?
220,000 worth.
Oh, and that's $1,000 each.
Yeah.
So 220 fart jars in 1 month. That is a lot. Then she press released. She was like, "Oh, I had to go to the emergency room because I'm eating things to make me fart so much because so many fart jars."
It was brilliant though because there's photos from inside the hospital, and I thought I was having a heart attack, but no, they said it was just really bad gas.
Because she'd been eating
Yeah.
like hardcore fart engineering
Broccoli.
foods.
Yeah.
After that, guess what happened? Sales picked up for fart jars. And this is the master stroke. Google or Facebook or somebody should hire her for the community team because this girl understands it.
Now she's selling fart jar NFTs. So not real farts in a jar. She's given that up after her stay in the hospital. She's selling NFTs of the...
Oh, she'll be back.
Oh,
She'll be
What is
farting
this
in
reality?
jars before February. Mark my word.
She's going to be running her own ad agency before it's over with.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think actually didn't they mention that she did start her own thing?
I mean, that's the whole reason these people go on reality shows usually.
Now here's the crazy part. I don't know if you guys read the whole article or read the comments, but here's the crazy part. All right, get yourself ready for this because this blows my mind. All right, slutty picture.
Oh, the Instagram embed isn't working.
Slutty picture. What is that? Look at that toe. That's 2 toes
Wait, she has 2 toes merged
welded
together?
together. I guess
Is
I
that-
count
Or is that a shoe?
1, 2.
That's
no,
not a
no.
shoe. She's
You
barefoot.
See the toenails? 1, 2, 3, plus 2. Look at the size of that monster.
It's got to be a trick of the light.
Is there other comments? Go to the
Yeah,
Instagram
yeah.
link.
Instagram comments were crazy. It's in the article. The article's like most people were just talking about her toe.
Did she address that? We're going to do a follow-up story.
My drink came out my nose when I saw that toe.
What if she just shopped it for this reason?
Oh, that would be
Now-
that would be the ultimate. Just
That's a level of savviness that, like, I might even think about going to join her OnlyFans just to be like, listen, you have an amazing mind.
you're not there for her body.
No.
You're there for her mind.
The thing you pulled with the toe?
Genius.
Oh, look! Oh, there's just even more articles about her that we didn't even know about.
Oh, who's the certain celeb?
They're
Just
gonna
scroll
make you
down.
read like 5 paragraphs to figure that out. Fartpreneur. Oh, there's the heart attack scare.
Oh.
Poor girl. God, could that top be cut any lower? Literally not. I don't think it's going to tell us. You know what? Let's not give her any more.
We can all laugh. We can all enjoy the laugh on our morning commute.
She reveals her special diet. I like how every picture is different.
Oh, she's probably got a lot. You know, she's got to stay relevant. Got to post a lot.
I mean, let's be honest. Screen Rant has probably seen record traffic because of this.
Oh, this says she's only charging $500 per jar, so she sold twice as many as we thought.
Some of them, I think that she raised the price maybe.
These
Because the
articles-
other one definitely said 1,000.
Oh yeah, this is only when she had sold 90,000. So once she hit the 100K mark, she was like, okay, we gotta adjust here.
Yeah.
But these stories, there's no information here.
Yeah. No.
What a
You just-
brilliant girl.
It'd probably be easier just to go to her Instagram and read it straight from the source.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll see you next week.
Thanks
Thanks for
the
watching
news.
and hanging out.
Bye.